Welcome back. If you're someone who wants to understand how influence works in real life, how perception shapes opportunities, and how small behavioral changes can completely transform the way people respond to you, you are in the right place. On this channel, The Practical Book, our goal is simple. No fancy animation, no unnecessary complexity, just powerful ideas explained in a practical way so you can gain more control over your life, build confidence, and move closer to success. So far in this series, we've explored the first 15 laws. And today, we are continuing with laws 16 to 20, which focus on absence, unpredictability, connection, awareness of people, and independence. These principles are deeply connected to human psychology, and once you start noticing them, you'll begin to see them everywhere, in workplaces, relationships, leadership, and even everyday conversations. Let's begin. Law number 16, use absence to increase respect and honor. Human psychology works in a very interesting way. When something is always available, people start taking it for granted. But when access becomes limited, value increases. Think about anything in life that feels rare or difficult to obtain. Its perceived importance automatically rises. The same principle applies to people. Professional example. Imagine two employees in a workplace. The first person is always available, always saying yes, always responding instantly, always trying to please everyone. At first, this may seem like dedication. But over time, co-workers may begin to assume that this person will always be there. Requests increase, boundaries disappear, respect slowly declines. Now imagine another employee. This person delivers strong results, maintains clear boundaries, and is not constantly available for every small request. When they speak, people listen because their time appears valuable. Scarcity creates perceived importance. Personal example. This also happens in friendships and relationships. If someone is constantly seeking attention, constantly calling, constantly messaging, their presence may start to feel ordinary. But someone who has their own life, their own goals, their own priorities creates natural curiosity and respect. Absence creates space, and space increases appreciation. Law number 17, cultivate unpredictability. This law is often misunderstood. It does not mean behaving randomly or emotionally. It means avoiding being completely predictable. When people can predict every reaction you will have, they begin to feel psychological control over you. But when your responses are calm, thoughtful, and occasionally unexpected, people become more attentive. Professional example. Imagine a manager who reacts with anger every time a mistake happens. Employees quickly learn the pattern. They stop focusing on improvement and instead focus on avoiding emotional reactions. Now imagine a leader who remains composed. Sometimes serious, sometimes supportive, sometimes quiet and observant. Employees cannot fully predict the response, so they remain more alert and respectful. Composure creates authority. Personal example. In everyday life, if someone teases you and you always react the same way, they may continue because the pattern is predictable. But if you respond calmly, or even differently than expected, the dynamic changes immediately. Predictability invites control. Balanced unpredictability creates respect. Law number 18, do not isolate yourself. When facing challenges, many people withdraw. They isolate themselves to feel safe. But isolation reduces awareness. It cuts off information, support, and opportunity. Humans are social beings, and connection is a form of protection. Professional example. Someone who avoids networking, avoids collaboration, and stays inside their comfort zone may feel secure. But they miss opportunities for learning, promotions, partnerships, and growth. Meanwhile, the person who builds relationships, communicates openly, and stays engaged gains access to more possibilities. Connections create leverage. Personal example. During stressful periods, people sometimes disconnect from friends or family. But connection is often exactly what prevents emotional decline. Talking to someone, sharing experiences, and feeling understood strengthens resilience. Isolation increases vulnerability. Connection increases strength. Law number 19, know who you are dealing with. Not everyone thinks the same way. Not everyone reacts the same way. Power often comes from understanding personalities. Professional example. Imagine giving direct criticism to someone who strongly values respect and hierarchy. Even if your point is correct, the delivery may create defensiveness or resentment. But presenting the same feedback with diplomacy and awareness of their personality creates cooperation instead of conflict. Emotional intelligence prevents unnecessary enemies. Personal example. In relationships, some people forgive quickly while others remember hurt for a long time. Some people prefer honesty, while others need sensitivity. Understanding emotional patterns helps you communicate better and avoid damage. Awareness protects relationships. Law number 20, do not commit to anyone completely. This law does not mean avoiding loyalty or relationships. It means maintaining independence of thought. When you attach yourself blindly to one side, one group, or one opinion, you lose flexibility. Independence creates freedom. Professional example. In workplace environments, aligning too strongly with one faction or leader can be risky. If leadership changes, your position may become unstable. But someone who maintains professionalism, neutrality, and adaptability remains secure regardless of organizational shifts. Flexibility protects stability. Personal example. In social situations, people often try to pull others into conflicts. They ask questions like, whose side are you on? But staying calm, objective, and independent prevents unnecessary drama. You avoid emotional traps and maintain peace. Independence reduces conflict. Now let's reflect on what we learned today. Absence increases value. Unpredictability creates attention. Connection prevents vulnerability. Understanding people avoids conflict. Independence protects freedom. If you begin observing these patterns, you'll start seeing them everywhere, at work, in leadership, in friendships, and even in small daily interactions. Awareness itself is power, because when you understand human behavior, you can choose your responses instead of reacting automatically. And that choice changes outcomes. If you found this video helpful, take a moment to like it, share it with someone who could benefit, and subscribe for more practical insights that help you grow stronger, smarter, and more confident. Because understanding people is understanding influence. And influence shapes success. In the next part, we'll continue exploring more principles that shape perception, relationships, and long-term achievement. See you in the next video.